What is good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one, I'm going to break down what's going on with the overall market, what you should be watching for moving forward. I want to talk about how Nvidia is pumping right now and how this may affect NIO, as NIO is also pumping in the after hours, and so is SPY and Tesla and many tickers out there. So I'm going to break down what on earth is going on with all these different charts, how could they affect one another and NIO, and what you should be watching for as time progresses. But before I break anything down, all this information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things. I'm firstly not a financial planner, so take none of this as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Moomoo, the link down below, and deposit $100 into the account, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks plus a $50 cash reward. The offer ends in 8 days, so check it out before they run out. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. Right, so Nvidia is pumping so far in the after hours, holding up very, very nicely. And the real question is, how will this thing move going forward? So far, it's holding up nicely. It's trying to push. It's breaking new all-time highs, and this is, in my opinion, going to help the market continue to pump because they absolutely killed it during earnings again. And let me show you what I'm talking about. So, Nvidia came out. They beat on EPS. That was $2.70 adjusted EPS versus the estimate of $2.09. Beat on EPS, they beat on revenue, they raised their guidance, absolutely killing it. This was quoted as a wow moment for Nvidia. Once again, awesome, awesome stuff from them. Going forward, they raised their Q3 guidance. Their revenue is once again going up again, and they approved a $25 billion share buyback. Once again, super, super bullish news. The CEO has come out and he's saying that right now things are looking strong for the company. He's saying that a new computing era has begun. Companies worldwide are transitioning from general purpose to accelerate computing and generative AI. And as more companies are invested in this technology, as they buy more into this, this is going to be very bullish for the company. Very, very bullish news for Nvidia, which is going to be bullish for the market. Now, even though the market may pump for tomorrow, please be alert over the fact that we have initial jobless claims coming out 1 hour before the market opens. We have some jobs numbers that could affect us to some extent, but I don't know if it's going to be enough, depending on how extreme they are. But it's going to, if anything, still affect the market to some extent. But despite that, the market may still gap up tomorrow thanks to all this bullish news. Now, looking at NIO has announced that for the 9th season, the Formula E has come to a close a week ago. The NIO 333 Formula E is looking very, very good as they performed and reached 42 points, finishing 9th in the team standings, which is, I mean, I don't really expect them to do that perfect anyways, but I'm still very proud of them because of the fact that their vehicle still performed well, getting 42 points. They continue to improve. And this is not necessarily NIO's area of expertise. So, like I said before, I don't expect them to be perfect, but it still shows how creative their engineers could be and how much NIO is willing to put in to expand their brand and their technologies. Now, NIO also tweeted that the ET5T has an extended amount of possibilities, which is just based off you and your own imagination. You could haul, heavy items with it. You could travel to the different camping sites. You could go to the beach with it. It is just beautiful, very, very exciting, and good stuff for NIO. NIO also announced that when it comes to their volume, it was only about 30 million in volume, nothing too crazy, but still not bad for them overall. And NIO is continuing to hold up. I also want to add that the short volume did go up just a little bit. So we did see a little bit more shorting, but NIO is still trying to base around that 10.5 area. And finally, Deutsche Bank is saying to buy NIO. That's a good sign for the company. The price price ratio has dropped just a little bit, still trying to hold up, nothing too bad. And last but not least, I just want to talk about this right here. NIO tends to be green about 51% of the time on Thursdays, nothing too crazy. We tend to see more volatility during the third and also during the 6 hours of the trading day, not to mention the second to last hour or the penultimate hour simultaneously. And last but not least, the short interest did go down a little bit. We saw some short covering 2 days ago, so that's a slight improvement for NIO. But now the question is, how will NIO move going forward? And I just want to talk about this. Nvidia is breaking out like crazy. It just broke its all-time high again. So it made an all-time high about 20 minutes after the market opened, came down a little bit. Now it's breaking to a new all-time high, currently at 517. This thing is exploding. This thing is going to the moon. It's up almost 10% in the after hours. It is flying like crazy. And this is bullish news for the markets. SPY is up once again 0.6% in the after hours. It is still continuing to hold up and still looking quite good. Now, I don't know if SPY is going to keep going and going and going like this going into tomorrow. We're going to gap up most likely thanks to Nvidia and try pushing. There's going to be a push, but I don't know if we're going to get like some kind of rejection, then like come down to fill the gap and then bounce, or if it keeps going. We're going to be watching that for tomorrow. But SPY is looking strong thanks to this, and so is the market. Tesla is now breaking above the high it made at 242.7. Bullish news for Tesla, continuing to break out. We're approaching the next important level at the 244.5 area. And then above that, we have 245.95, then 247. So Tesla's approaching some key resistance, still looking quite strong. Very, very good stuff for Tesla as it's approaching these levels, looking more bullish overall. It could gap up tomorrow, but make it a rejection, come back down, then bounce. Overall, though, I do expect us to gap up just to start us off. Good so far. And then for the triple Q, before I talk about NIO, triple Q is breaking out. The next level is going to be this 314 area if it breaks and holds above 373. I'm sorry, 374 if we break above 373. I don't know what I just said. 374 is going to be coming next. If that breaks, 375, 375.8, and then much higher levels above that, like 377.5 are possible. I think we're going to see this thing get very close to 374 to 375 before it gets a rejection, comes down. It could come down to fill the gap or fill a part of it before bouncing again. And overall, the charts look more bullish than bearish as of right now. Aapl is also holding up decently, but what about NIO? How is NIO looking? The answer is it's looking bullish. This thing's up 1% in the after hours. We formed another bullish divergence once we hit this 10.5 area. And do you guys remember a few days ago, I was calling a bounce on NIO? Do you guys remember that? Well, look at how NIO is performing. Does NIO look like it's crashing right now? If you look at it, it was tanking, right? It was dropping and dropping and dropping. But look at how the bullish divergence is developing. Look at how NIO is trying to base at 10.5. As long as there's no bad news involving China, we could see NIO try to push up to this imbalance at this 11.3 area. So I think NIO is going to try to push for 11.3. Maybe it gaps up tomorrow, retests the 200 EMA on the 30 minutes time frame, then it rejects before getting one more bounce. And I think overall it's looking a little bit more bullish off this bullish divergence forming this accumulation phase. I think NIO is going to try to push up to much better looking levels. So I'm leaning a little bit more bullish on NIO for the time being. I think the structure looks quite nice. And overall, I'm very, very pleased to say that NIO looks quite good. But the thing about this is, yes, it's going to try to push up. It may gap up in the pre-market, right? Push up to 11.3. It may reject off that, then come down and come back down to like the 11 flats or something like that, 10.9, then bounce off that, and then still get a decent green day. Or it could even break above 11.3 and go up to like 11.5. It really depends. So that's what I'm leaning towards on NIO. A nice push up to either 11.3 to 11.5, a rejection, then another bounce, and for this thing to once again get a decent green day. That's what I'm predicting for tomorrow. Things are looking good thanks to Nvidia. I expect a gap up in the market for tomorrow, and we'll see what happens after that. But for now, just know there's a good chance of NIO bouncing. Should see a bounce tomorrow, so please be ready, and we will see how the market performs after that. But with that said, thank you all for listening. Have a great day. I know Jerome Powell is going to be speaking at the end of the week, so just be prepared for that. Until then, the market is pumping, looking quite strong, and we will play the charts as we open tomorrow. So with that said, thank you for listening. Have a great day. NIO in the market to the moon as the long term is still incredibly bright, and peace out.